Hello guys, welcome back to the next tutorial in the series. Today we're gonna discuss about prioritizing or sequencing the test cases. So in one of our tutorials for the grouping, we saw that right when we actually run the test case. So you know what? Let me create a new class. So just to make it a little easier, I don't want to mix up the code. So new other class, test-ng class, next. And all right, before, okay, you know what, I'm not putting anything. I'm just changing the name maybe. So test ng underscore prioritizing, and yeah, I'm just gonna click finish. So I don't want any before or after methods or before or after classes, because we'll just copy the code from the test-ng group in. So I'm just gonna skip that for now. Oh, I don't know why it's running so slow. I don't know what happened to this. Alright, okay, looks like it's okay. It was just struggling for a while. Alright, so I'm just gonna copy all this stuff from here, before and after one. So copy it to the prioritizing class right here and just paste it here. Alright, okay, so now what I'm gonna do is this is you already understand guys, right? Before and after methods, so that's all right. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you once. I'm just gonna run this class, basically run this test and show you what happens, right? So then we'll go through. So when I'm running this, it runs all these test cases, right? All the 4 test cases basically, right? So it runs all these test cases. But if you guys notice, BMW 3 Series is my first test case. Maybe let's say I want to run this test case. This is my first test case. Running test 1, running test 2, running test 3, and running test 4. So I have like 4 test cases, right? And this is just for spacing. So I just want to provide some decent spacing when playing out. So when I'm running that, what I see is test number 3 is run at the first, test number first is second, second is third, fourth is fourth. That's all right. So the sequencing is not correct, right? I want my first test case to run first, let's say in one of my scenarios. So but that's not happening. Why? Because test-ng by default runs the test cases based on the alphabetic order of the test case name. So since test case number 3, that starts with Audi A6, which starts with A, right? So it's ran at the first time because of A, right? Then comes the BMW, then comes the other BMW, but this has a numeric 3 which takes the priority over X. So then comes the Honda, which starts with H. So that's why the order is kind of screwed up, right? So what if I want to maintain the order, or maybe I want some other test case to have a priority over some other test case, right? So what we can group for that is, I basically don't need the grouping part in this tutorial, so I can just get rid of groups. We already have this in other tutorial, and so let me just get rid of it. What I can do here is there's a keyword called priority, all right, and this equals to, if I say it starts from 0, right? So if I say 0, so this takes the priority 0, which means it's gonna run as the very first test case. I give the priority 1. For this one I'm giving it 2. I'm just maintaining the order that I'm having the test cases, right? So I've given the priority now, guys. You can see my BMW 3 Series test case has the priority 0, X3 has priority 1, A6 has priority 2, and this Honda one has, Accord one has priority 3, right? So now if I run this test case, let's see what happens. Alright, this looks fair, right? Running test 1, BMW 3 Series, test 2, BMW X3, test 3, Audi A6, test 4, Honda Accord, right? So that's actually just a way to maintain the priority and maintain the sequence of the test cases in which you want them to be executed, right? So this is the main motive of this particular tutorial. You can actually do few more things. Maybe let's say you want to skip a test case. Let's say I just want to skip Audi A6. Let's just say that. So what I can do is I can just say after the comma, I can say enabled equals to false. So when I say that, TestNG interprets that this test case is disabled because the enabled keyword is false, set to false. So this test case is disabled and it's not gonna run this test case. So let me try to run this, what happens. So when I run this test case, did you guys notice? Only 3 test cases executed, right? BMW 3 Series, BMW X3, Honda Accord, right? No Audi A6 test case executed. Here also you can see that. And in the run TestNG console also you can see BMW 3 Series, X3 and Honda Accord. So couple of things. You can maintain the priority of your test cases, basically the sequencing in which you want them to be executed. You can enable or disable particular test cases for some reason. Let's say you don't want to execute one of the test cases in your test suite or maybe a couple of test cases. Then you can just disable them. There are other ways. I mean, if you are running from the TestNG.xml, right? So we have seen that thing a lot of times, right? Here after the classes, you can have a methods keyword, and under that you can basically include the name of the test case, right? So basically only that particular test case is gonna execute it, right? So that is one way to include the only test cases that you want to run. But this is one way. Let's say you have hundreds of test cases and you want to run most of them, but you want to skip a few. Then you can just say enable set to false. So there are like multiple things to do, multiple ways to do one thing, but you just need to pick whichever is better in the particular scenario. So this is one more way. And yeah, prioritizing is definitely handy in some places when you really want to prioritize a test case over another. So just do that. This concludes our tutorial. I know this is a short one and it's really easy one. So guys, I would just say practice a lot, and stay tuned for the next class. Thanks for attending. We'll cover a new topic in the next tutorial. Thanks guys, and yeah, of course the codes will be available on the web also. You can just use them, download them for your reference and practice a lot. Thanks guys, thanks for attending.